What's up, everybody? My name is Libra Lijah, formerly known as Libra Love. I wanted to go ahead and take this time while I got some time to make this video to pretty much explain like the 5 main reasons why I decided to detransition. So for those of you who don't know, well, I'm pretty sure none of you know, but I got a few fans out there, but I decided to transition from male to female. That was a part of my life for like 10 years. So that's a major like part of my life and my story and things like that. But, recently, I would say maybe almost 3 years ago, I decided that life wasn't for me. So I wanted to get to the bottom of why I decided to transition and why, I was in that state of mind at that time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to go ahead and give a disclaimer that I'm not out here trying to have my story weaponized for other people who are going through, trans identity crisis and things like that. Like, those people's story are those people's stories. Mine is my own. I can only speak for myself and how I felt and what I went through. So all I can ask is just don't use my story and project it onto other trans-identified people or people who are just dealing with, confusion in their sexuality altogether. So let's get into it. Excuse me. So, I guess I'll get into early life. Early life, I decided, I decided I wanted to transition from a male to a female when I was I would say 15. 15, 16, that's when I decided okay, yeah, I want to be a girl. But all of that, pretty much, it was a build up to that. It was a lot of things that happened, especially me. I experienced a lot of sexual assault. That was one of the main reasons why I decided that transitioning really wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the main reasons. I experienced a lot of sexual assault as a kid from people my age as a kid to even a couple adults who wanted me to, perform oral on them. And, just having adults call me gay, adults and, my peers call me gay before I even knew what gay was. It just ruined the innocence of a child. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of stuff that happened back then. And then me not knowing, right from wrong back then. You know what I'm saying? And then already being in a confused state of mind, it was just I was easily influenced. And that's always a negative thought. But that was always something that I experienced through my transition and me being a trans female at that time. It was, I noticed that I was easily influenced by things. I wanted to just show the people that was around me that I was a cool person. I was down. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was easily influenced. I just wanted motherfuckers to know, I'm a cool trans person. You can hang around me. I'm not going to try no shit. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely did want straight friends as well as gay friends and female friends. And you know what I'm saying? I was just a cool all-around person. I didn't give a fuck about nothing. I genuinely just wanted to vibe with people, but I was easily influenced and shit. So, yeah, that's one reason. Sexual assault. I was always a little self-conscious to negativity when I was transitioning. So it that feeling they say, people say, well, if you feel like you're doing bad, then you need to stop or something, or it is wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's something along the lines of that. But I just felt damn, why am I always so concerned about what the fuck people gonna say when I step outside? It was confusing to me because I had people staring at me 24/7. 24/7. So I didn't know whether it was because people was admiring me or because it was hate. You know what I'm saying? Not hate as in oh, I'm hating on you, but hate as in they didn't like my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because I ran into a mix of them. So I never really could pinpoint like, oh, yo, like this person is really like eyeing me on some, oh, they want to vibe with me type shit, or they eyeing me because, you know, they want to come and harm me, or, you know what I'm saying? They're against me type shit. So that was always something that was confusing to me as well. But I mean, it wasn't always bad. Like, a majority of the time, people would walk up to me and let me know if it was something positive. And they'll let me know, like, hey, you know, I've had people walk up to me, I want to use you for, what is it, a fashion show or a hair show and stuff like that. So I've had things like that happen where photographers will walk up to me, say they like my look, and they want to use me. But I've also had situations happen where I walk up and guys will automatically like shift to the other side of the room with some shit. Like, I'm not coming for you. You ain't gotta do all that. Like, shit like that made me feel uncomfortable, that I was making other people uncomfortable. And it honestly affected me more, to be honest with you, because I was already depressed. Like, depression was another thing I experienced because of me, you know, going back and forth with myself over my sexuality. So it was just a lot. Like, I wanted to speak about it, but the way people wanted me to speak about it, it was like forceful. So of course I'm gonna go into a shell and just keep all my thoughts and feelings to myself, because you're making me feel like, you know what I'm saying, like what I'm experiencing is wrong, or me trying to experience life on my own is wrong. And I just want to, you know, come out of that myself. Like, yes, I need guidance. Yes, I need, you know, people to tell me like the ins and outs of sex, of gay lifestyles, of, you know, just shit in general that a teenager should be explained to. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was just a lot of stuff that I felt like I couldn't really cope with or comprehend, because I was so young and couldn't understand for real. Like, I didn't know what the fuck gay was until I got to middle school. And it's like, to me right there, like when I look back on stuff like that, I feel bad in a way, because I'm like, damn, like what was I doing to not know what that was back then? But then again, I feel good because I'm like, yo, like I was really like focused on kid shit back then. I wasn't really worried about what the fuck gay was or anything like that. Now, I knew I had feelings for guys. I knew I had feelings for girls. I don't know. I just feel like people heard my voice and they would automatically be like, oh, okay, gay. When I'm just a little ass kid, you know what I'm saying, in elementary school, just minding my business, trying to go around playing with people, make new friends. I want to show off my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You know what I'm saying? It's just shit like that. My DS and all that shit. Like, Nintendo DS was out back then. Yeah, I remember all that shit. Like, I was just vibing. I wasn't on no shit like that. It would be other kids who would violate me. And it's crazy because I would like struggle talking about this shit coming up. Like, I would drop hints and things like, yeah, stuff was going on, but I don't know. Like, I had someone ask me when I was younger, a family member asked me, like, you know, I remember this clear as day, do you like boys? Do you like girls? I don't know why they were asking me, but something in my kid's self was just like, I don't think I should answer this. So like, I didn't. I'm just like, no to both. Because I don't know. I was still trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with me. Like, and then on top of that, honestly, I feel like with people doing that, it kind of forced me at a young age to go and see what the fuck it was. It's like, okay, well, let me go see what gay is. You know what I'm saying? All I know is I was literally kissing boys and girls at school, on the playground during recess. Like, real shit. I was kissing both. I didn't give a fuck. But I think, like, as I got older, people just dismissed the fact that I liked women. You know what I'm saying? I still do to this day. Like, even when I was trans, I had feelings for women, but I wouldn't express it, not to a lot of people. A certain amount of people knew here and there that I had feelings for women, but I wouldn't express it because a lot of people would just look at me funny, or, you know what I'm saying, just dismiss it altogether. Like, when I'm just meeting someone, I could tell people, like, I'm bisexual, And I told people that for the longest. When I first came out to my parents, I came out as bisexual. But then once I seen people started dismissing that because of my voice and shit like that, it was just like, well, maybe I should be a girl. You know what I'm saying? So like, it kind of broke me down in a way where it was just like people are saying that I sound like a girl. People are saying I act like one. People are saying, people are doing things to me as if I'm a girl. So it's just like, I don't know. It just made me think, like, bro, should I have been a girl? So after that, it was just like the whole female persona just started to take over because playing around with kids, they would like treat me as the girl and shit like that. And I didn't know how to take that. It was just like the shit just became my mindset, and I ran with it. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, I had adults pretty much trying to break me out of that when I was a kid, but I didn't know that they were doing that to try and help me. I felt like, me personally, like I said, I was already experiencing feelings for men and women. So I felt like I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, explore that a little more. But I didn't know, as a kid that was the wrong way to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got kids, playing wrestling and shit like that, but then they want to pull my pants down and, just like try and like stick their finger in me and, grind on me and shit. It's just weird shit that would go on and shit. And I didn't know, like, to push people away and shit like that, because it was just like, part of me wanted it, but I was also nervous about it. It was like the kid in me was just like, I didn't know what to do. So of course in situations like that, I would freeze up. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I can't do shit but just like like, okay, like, most of these niggas was stronger than me back then. I really wasn't a fighter, and I would come home crying most of the time because people was bullying me in school because of my voice and the way I acted and shit like that. So it took for me to like come home crying a lot for, people to start teaching me how to fight and shit like that. And once that happened and I started taking up for myself, then that shit just, I spiraled downhill from there. It was just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So sexual assault was one. Me always being like self-conscious of negativity. Depression is another main one. The fourth reason is I feel like I was never taken serious, honestly. Like, I was never taken serious. When it came to me transitioning and I finally decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take hormones. I'm gonna transition. I'm gonna change my name and things like that. When I did that, my ass was telling people like, yo, I want to be addressed as this. No one took that serious. Like, my siblings, everyone, like, their friends, all that, they definitely, like, if my siblings weren't doing it, what makes me think my friends and shit would have done that? You know what I'm saying? Like, every now and then, yeah, they gonna call me that and shit like that, but for the most part, I was still the same motherfucker to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one took me serious. But the crazy thing about that is, not even I took myself serious, because in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, I want to be the full-on thing. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to get the surgery and stuff like that. But little by little, I started to notice, like, bro, these people aren't taking me serious with this shit. And then, like, I don't know if that affected how serious I took it or what, but I don't know, like, I started to slack up on it. But part of me was more so like, I don't know, like, when it came to them addressing me as a female, at first I was just like, yo, I'ma correct them every time. But then part of me was just like, do I really care? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I even really care? Like, it was a comfort in it, like, you know what I'm saying? And then even with the whole surgery shit, when I first started transitioning and I was looking at the before and after pictures of sex reassignment surgery and shit like that, it just, I don't know, something about it just kind of like threw my mind away from it. And I didn't really like it. And I was looking at the pictures and I was just like, eh. And then I just kept like looking down at myself like, nah. So I was just like, I'm good. I'm good on that. So I decided against the surgery, even though I was transitioning. And then another thing that I noticed was that I had got I went through this whole counseling thing because, you know, to transition, you have to get a letter of recommendation from a specific type of doctor. My bad, my bunny in here jumping off shit like he Indiana Jones. But yeah, I had, you know, when you transition, you have to go through talking to a specific type of doctor so you can get a letter of recommendation to start hormone therapy. Man, I did that. We came up with the name change form and everything. We filled that shit out. Tell me why I never turned it in. I never turned it in. To this day, my father doesn't know that the reason I did not change my name is because I heard him cry when I told him that I was going to change my name. And to hear like him break down and tell me how he chose my name and things like that, it was just like, you know what? I actually want to keep my name for my dad's sake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a unique name. It's common when you say it, but when you spell it, it's unique as hell. So I'm like, I like my name. I want to keep my name. Plus, who wants to go through that trouble of having to reintroduce themselves to motherfuckers they already know or have known for a lifetime or damn near a lifetime? You know what I'm saying? So that right there was just redundant to me. So I was just like, fuck a name change. I'll keep my name. But then that was also a part of me, you know, not really caring or taking myself serious or my transition serious. Because it was just like, I was already off and on with the medicine. I didn't really want to get the surgery. I didn't have the same viewpoints as other trans people that I met. Like, I didn't like, I'll get into that another video. I'll write that down though so I remember. Ugh. Alright, yeah. But I had different viewpoints from other trends and things like that. And I don't know, part of me was just like, damn, once I started to realize those things, it was like, yo, like, do I even really want to be trans? And I did it for 10 years of my life, off and on with the hormones, but I kept the identity. My ID was changed to female, all of that. So even when I didn't dress in female clothing, I was still, you know, identified as female then. I experienced a lot of shit dealing with that, honestly. A lot of negativity. And I can honestly say a lot of it was self-inflicted. Like, I used to get into it with my mother growing up. And I swore up and down she hated me for, you know, being myself and shit like that. Because I felt so restricted. You know what I'm saying? You a child. You trying to express yourself the way an adult doesn't want you to because you're not an adult yet yourself. So it's like you rebel against them and things like that in hopes that shit'll eventually go your way. But you're a kid, so you can't do shit for real. But yeah, my mother, she definitely gave me a lot of strength and advice when it came to being trans, and a lot of structure as well, because honestly I feel like I would have been out there wilding like I see other gays doing and shit like that. Not all gays now. You know what type of gays I'm talking about. The real messy ones that be out there just, you know what I'm saying? Because that was my scene when I first started, you know, coming out and shit like that. But like I said, that was just the rebellious part of me and shit like that. So I'm glad that I did have some structure in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Going through that. But let me get into the final reason why I decided to detransition, and then I'm going to end this video, and then I'll go into each and every one of these topics individually more in depth so that y'all can, you know, hear more stories of shit I had to endure, go through, and all of that, so that it'll, you know what I'm saying, hopefully it'll help other people who's been through similar situations to, you know, just stop, reevaluate themselves and their decisions, and to come to a sound conclusion on like, yo, this is what I want my life to be. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal of this. I'm not looking to be some big motherfucking viral moment or something like that. I just really want to share my story. Despite how many people listen, fuck it. If you feel like it's someone out there that you know who could listen to this, then feel free to share it to them. Like, yo, this might be what you going through. You know what I'm saying? Just reach out and let them know. Like, yo, watch this, you know? You could be dealing with this, and I really want you to know, like, if you are, we can talk about it. We can get through this shit together. Real shit, because I got my support system, you know? And it's not people who doubted or didn't want me to, you know, live my life in the beginning. It's people who fully supported me going through that transition, detransitioning, and, you know, realizing that this is what I want my life to be. I went through my life. Life is to be explored, and that's what I did. And I respect those people who are in my circle because they respect me for that. So be that person for somebody, okay? But my final reason was because, honestly, I just feel like I never really had a chance to be a boy. And I know that sounds so, like, contradictory, being that I am a boy and I was born a boy. You know what I'm saying? But I never really had a chance to be a boy. For one, like I said, a lot of people growing up feminized me more than I feminized myself. Like, me, yeah, I know my voice was soft. My voice still is soft, honestly. But that's nothing I can help. It was nothing I can help. Now, me liking what I like, I'll tell you to this day, I still do like men and women. But I'm starting to push back from men because, I don't know, approaching my 30s, I'm starting to, like, get into new things and career goals and stuff like that. And I'm pursuing them. And I do want to, like, you know, leave a legacy. So that includes having children. And so, yeah, that's a part of my goal and stuff like that. So I'm not going to let nobody dictate me and tell me what I should and shouldn't like or how I should and shouldn't live. You know what I'm saying? I've come to a good, solid conclusion, and it's at a point now to where I'm really at peace with myself because I finally got through a really, really rough hardship of figuring out me. And I'm glad that I went through that phase. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I can go back and tell people like, yo, I lived my life. I explored. I tried that. That lifestyle wasn't for me, but you know what I'm saying? Look at me now. Shit, I'm good. So I really just wanted to go ahead and let people know what I was experiencing. You know? Now I'm going ahead and living life as me, a boy, a man. I'm experiencing it in the past few years that I've detransitioned and just been living as me has been very comfortable, has been very peaceful, has been very progressive. It's been very abundant. For real. Like, I came out of a lot, y'all. And I'm finally in my own space, doing my own thing, living my own life in a way that's more peaceful to me. So I hope y'all like this video. I hope that, you know, you'll come back to see the rest of the videos. I'm going to do at least 5 more, breaking down each of the 5 topics. I'm going to give some stories, experiences, and stuff like that, of stuff I went through and all of that. And ultimately you'll see what caused me to detransition and just live as I am now. So thank y'all for tuning in, all that. I see people been liking my music and stuff, by the way. Thank y'all for that. I wanted to do this video, by the way, because I was like, y'all, I don't want y'all to think I'm fishing for views and shit on that. Because I seen someone had commented saying that they was waiting for me and shit. So, yeah. Because I tried to go live one time before, but my live wasn't working, my audio. So I had to delete that and just wait till I had some time. So more than likely, it'll be on weekends where I can just sit down and just have a moment to clear my mind and, you know, be prepared to speak. So tune in with me next week or something. And yeah, just give me y'all comments. Hopefully they're supportive. And I'll see y'all next time.